Chapter 3 The Unveiling.
Proverbs 21 verse 6 NLT. Wealth created by a lying tongue is a vanishing mist and a deadly trap. The campaign launched on a Tuesday morning with cinematic flair, crisp motion graphics, a powerful voiceover, dramatic music that made it feel like a revolution. Are you Nigeria's next big tech disruptor? Do you have an innovative app idea but no backing? Submit your pitch to Tech Express, a platform created to empower African innovation. Selected entries will receive mentorship, exposure, and up to $50,000 in funding. Your idea deserves to be heard. Build the future. Now. Within hours, it was trending. Dozens of eager startup founders flooded the link, uploading PDF decks, app mockups, wireframes, and even early-stage codebases. Most of them never read the fine print. Those who did saw nothing overtly suspicious, just a blanket clause granting Tech Express Ventures Limited temporary access to submitted concepts for evaluation and compatibility testing purposes. Behind the website sat Laja and Kunal, sipping wine in a private co-working lounge in Lekki. Kunal grinned at the growing submissions dashboard. Your generation is gold, bro. They post their entire life on the internet and then give away their best ideas for free. Laja smirked. And we're just here to review, curate, empower. Kunal's phone buzzed. A message from his dad. Meeting at Fagbami's house Thursday evening. Don't be late. Dara will be there. He turned the screen toward Laja, his voice low and tense. You think she suspects anything? About Tech Express? Does your father know? Because if either of them starts putting pieces together. He hesitated, then added. Look, I don't want to be caught in anything that could jeopardize my chances with Dara. If this blows up, I'm out. Dara. Laja chuckled. She suspects everyone. But she still thinks you're daddy's golden boy from Cambridge. You'll charm her. Trust me. Dara wasn't excited about the dinner. Her father had insisted, it's just a meeting. Some of my old friends. I want you to reconnect with the circle that built this firm. She arrived wearing a structured ivory jumpsuit and her signature low bun, looking every bit the executive heir her father had raised her to be. She wasn't there for matchmaking. She was there to show the circle that she was ready. But the moment Kunal Bakir entered the room, her posture stiffened. He was taller than she remembered. Clean-shaven. His suit a little too trendy, his smile a little too polished. And when he kissed the air beside her cheek, she felt none of the warmth her father promised. It's good to finally see you properly, Kunal said. Your father speaks like you're a mythical figure. And yet here I am. Very much mortal. They both smiled. The other guests, industry old guards, former permanent secretaries, and one retired senator, talked about legacy, politics, and the urgency of tech investment in Nigeria. Kunal, ever so smooth, peppered the conversation with phrases like financial inclusion, blockchain infrastructure, and Africa First frameworks. Dara watched him with polite curiosity, but when her father stepped out to take a call, Kunal leaned closer. So, I heard you've been making some bold moves, he said, voice casual. Something about a pitch to foreign investors? Her expression didn't change. That's vague. Kunal smiled. That's all I got. Just whispers. But if what I heard is even half true, something about a clean product line, you're way ahead of the curve. She turned fully toward him now, polite but cold. You hear a lot. I know how to listen, he said. And when people listen long enough, they start seeing the patterns. You're not playing small, Dara. And you don't have to. She said nothing. Your brother and I are also launching a review platform for tech ideas, he added. Maybe you've seen it, Tech Express? Her brow arched. That's yours. Legally? No. But I back it when I want to. Helps me keep an eye on what's coming. Dara's stomach turned, but her voice stayed even. Interesting. Seems opportunistic. It's all about supporting innovative minds. Kunal smiled. You're doing great work, Dara. Before she could respond, her father returned, beaming. I see you two are already getting along. Dara smiled tightly. Oh yes, we're just aligning philosophies. Kunnel raised his glass toward her. To alignment. That night, Dara couldn't sleep. She pulled up the Tech Express page, reviewed the terms, read between the lines. It was airtight legally, but morally toxic. And something in Kunnel's smirk told her this wasn't just about funding. It was about positioning. He wasn't just watching. He was circling. And somehow, she had a sinking feeling Lodja wasn't far behind. Dara sat alone in her Lagos room, city lights flickering through the blinds. Her tablet screen glowed back at her, open to Nigeria's corporate registry portal. Tech Express Limited. Registered just 3 weeks ago, a week after Lodja left Abuja. Founded by Lodja Fagbemi and based on Kunnel, PayConnect would handle the funding and empowerment angle, the public-facing lifeline meant to sell hope while harvesting ideas. Dara blinked slowly, then reread the filing documents. She knew how long it took to get a CAC registration. It didn't take genius. It took intention, urgency, planning. She tapped open the Tech Express website again and zoomed in on the terms of submission. The words were smooth, almost beautiful. Almost. By submitting your concept, you grant Tech Express Ventures limited non-exclusive rights to evaluate, simulate, and adapt submissions for the purposes of strategic alignment. Adapt. Simulate. Align. All it really meant was, we might take what you give us, reshape it, and call it our own legally. She stared at the screen for a long moment. This wasn't just a careless scheme. This was surgical. And worse, her father was matchmaking her with the man funding it. Back in Abuja, Kuli scrolled through code with the blank stare of a man not really seeing. He hadn't had a long conversation with Dara since her Lagos trip started. Nothing alarming, just a string of short, tired replies. Long day. Talk later. With Dad. But something was off. Her silence wasn't passive, it was heavy. He glanced at the build screen for Shield View, then closed it. Nothing in him felt like testing tonight. Instead, he opened Twitter. Scanned the trending list. Hashtag TechExpressChallenge was still climbing. He clicked through. Pages of young developers, female-led startups, Gen Z founders pouring their dreams into the void. Sharing interface videos. Beta links. Intellectual property wrapped in Canva decks and hope. Something about it made him feel exposed. Not violated, not yet. But like a cold breeze had crept into a locked room. Dara returned to Abuja late the next evening. The airport ride was silent. Even the driver didn't try to make small talk. She texted Kuli as soon as she landed. I'm back. Can I stop by? His reply came instantly. Doors open. When she walked into his apartment, she offered greetings and went straight to the fridge, grabbed water, and stood quietly in the kitchen. Kuli sat on the edge of the sofa, watching. You look like someone who just read a war manual, he said. She gave a humorless smile. I did. The CAC registration of Tech Express Ventures. He straightened. And? Lodja registered it 2 weeks ago, a week after he left Abuja. Kunnel's. PayConnect is linked as the funding partner. Everything about the company looks clean, legal, but it's a blueprint for theft. Kuli's expression darkened. And your dad still wants you close to Bayo? Bayo was the name family members called him. But in the business world, he was Kunnel, polished, strategic, always 2 steps ahead. Dara looked away, her fingers tightening around the edge of her glass. She hadn't told Kuli everything, not the part about her father subtly floating the idea of matchmaking. That Kunnel might be more than just a business ally in her father's mind. But she had mentioned the dinner in Lagos. How her father's friend's son had just returned from overseas. How the whole evening had been framed as a way to reconnect with old circles, legacy families, powerful networks, familiar names. Bayo included. He thinks Bayo is a sharp mind, she said quietly. That he could be useful for the business. She didn't need to say more. Cooley's silence said it all. Cooley nodded slowly. He doesn't know Bayo's involved? No. And I'm not ready to tell him yet. Her voice was steady, but her eyes were tired. He thinks Bayo is clean, polished. And Lodja, still playing the long game. She hesitated, then added, I also didn't tell my dad about Shieldview. He just knows I'm working on something important in addition to the information he got from Lodja. Cooley leaned forward, elbows on knees. Are we still safe? For now, yes. But we need to secure the code, the documents, the entire environment. Lodja may not know what the app is called, but the people watching us, they're getting closer. They sat in silence for a beat. Dara reached out and took Cooley's hand. He tried to matchmake us over dinner. Cooley blinked.
You on bail?
She nodded, a faint smirk tugging at her lips. I laughed. Internally. But it made me realize something. What's that? If this were just about surviving Lodja, I'd say yes to any deal that kept me ahead. She paused, eyes steady on his. My dad thinks Colonel Bayo is a strong figure. Someone who can stand his ground against Lodja's plotting and greed. And because he's close to the family, it makes him a safe bet. Cooley exhaled slowly, still processing. Then he asked, almost cautiously, Does your dad not know you're in a relationship? Dara looked at him, soft but firm. What I share with you right now, it's ours. I love you, Cooley. And I'll introduce you when the time is right. You already introduced me to your mom, and she wasn't exactly welcoming. Cooley winced slightly at the memory, but she squeezed his hand. But this isn't a challenge, she said. I've already told my dad I'm not interested in any relationship right now. If I mention you, it could open a door I'm not ready to walk through. He might want to meet you, start asking questions, and I didn't want to put that pressure on you. Not yet. What we share is about building something new. Something bigger than our last names. She looked him in the eye. And I'm doing that with you. Not them. Cooley gave a slow, grateful nod. Then let's stay invisible. Until we're unstoppable. And that night, they began again, not with code, but with clarity. When ambition wears a mask of generosity, look closer. Sometimes the hand that offers help is only reaching for your
crown.